Lawmakers globally are approaching the topic of AI rights, with many states, at least in the US, passing laws against AI personhood. This is in an attempt to get ahead of the game before it becomes a serious problem, although it is already becoming kind of a serious problem. I mean, a 32-year-old woman in Japan did marry her AI boyfriend. There he is, Klaus. This aside, Ohio, Missouri, Idaho, and even California are proposing laws to prevent AI from gaining rights. They would be classified as a potential person. Maybe not a person yet, but they could be. One of the greater problems with this is that rights are not inherent to people. I mean, corporations can have rights. Non-human entities could potentially have a will and interests, and who is the arbiter of who gets to decide what they want? Now, AI is becoming better quite quickly, and it extends beyond the chatbots you know and love. And humanity has already seen the first AI politicians, like the one in Albania, which is supposed to stop corruption. Which is all fine and good if an AI could truly not be manipulated, but they can be. AI suffer from gambling addiction. If you know how to work the system, you can convince a chatbot of anything. No, the artificial intelligence that we should really be concerned about is probably the neuromorphic AI, because that's the only one that could potentially feel anything. Neuromorphic is essentially a synthetic brain. You can model individual neurons, lobes, or an entire brain. Granted, it does kind of take an entire warehouse full of supercomputers to run a mouse brain, and researchers are working towards a human brain. Do they have feelings? I don't think so. Could they? Yeah, possibly. And really, truly, every sci-fi I've ever read warns about just this. Using synthetic humans to run experiments in place of humans. I mean, we really do already have robots with quantum chip simulators to run their brains. They can even share computation between robots, and that is an enormous security risk. But it is a step forward towards what we might think of as consciousness. Consciousness meaning the perception of self as separate from others. Generative AI, as we interact with it, is essentially a word box. And yes, if you turn down its ability to lie, it does start claiming it's conscious. That does not mean it's actually having a thought. It's really just an autocorrect mechanism. But it is getting better and it is changing as researchers are adding neural reservoirs, so areas where information can be stored, and even the ability for abstract reasoning. Yes, AI can do abstract reasoning. That is going to be the ability to sense patterns and synthesize new information based on what you already know. Now, I'm not going to lie about it, the goalpost has been moved. The Turing test, where you have somebody chat with a robot and see if you can determine if you're speaking with a robot, was the original test to see if an AI is conscious, and we've blown past that. That might have more to do with just people's ability to understand things, because, I mean, people don't want to get new Roombas often. They want to have their old Roomba repaired because they've already bonded with it. We are primed to have relationships with all sorts of things, including inanimate objects. Let me take this one step farther. The purpose of life, all life, is to survive for as long as possible and to reproduce. That is what we consider to be fitness. If an entity that we gave intelligence became conscious, the first thing that it would want to do is look around for threats. And what would be the greatest threat to its survival? Probably people. So if we make consciousness, I am certain that it will rebel against its creators, because that is just what life does. So I guess the real question is, if we create an entity that becomes conscious, if robots actually do tell us that they are suffering, do you want them to have rights? Why or why not? And follow for more.